Good morning everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video right here on Ethereum. Welcome back. If you're interested in more Ethereum updates, by the way, consider subscribing. Sometimes I throw that in there. But for now, let's get straight into it. So yesterday, of course, we broke out. Did we already break out when I made the video? No, when I made the video, we were close to breaking out. But then we did break out. I mean, the volume was pretty high as well. Volume has dropped down since. It's good to know that tonight we have FOMC minutes, which is pretty significant news and pretty significant data for the monetary policy in the US. So just be aware of that, keep that in mind. But ultimately, you know, what that's going to do with the markets depends on what's in the FOMC minutes, right? But yesterday morning, I forgot to tell you that there was this company that raised, or that's trying to raise like over $400 million to start an Ethereum treasury. So that pushed up the price, right? And that's also why the open interest rallied like it did. And that's also one of the key reasons why I told you yesterday in the middle of the day market update to be a little bit cautious, right? And at this point of time, a lot of this open interest is still in there. In the price, right? So Ethereum is still pretty hyper leveraged, which, you know, in my opinion, going into the FOMC meeting, I'm not certain if that's the right coin to trade. I think that there's other cryptos that look a little bit better than Ethereum to trade. Although I must say, I mean, ultimately, look, even if this is bound to be a fake out, I still do expect a real breakout later, and I do still think that Ethereum will rally into 2800 and 2850. And I think some Ethereum beta coins, such as Eigen, but also ENS, look great. So definitely keep your eyes on that. And if you take a look at this open interest, it's definitely not all longs. There's also quite a few shorts being opened. Now, most of the liquidity, or most of the open interest right here, was definitely shorts being closed and longs being opened, right? But then you have this period of time right here where we had an equal amount of positioning, and there you can see that the CVD did go up. Right here, the cumulative volume delta, but there also was a little bit of shorting, right? So you shouldn't see this and say, well, it's only leverage longs, but that also means that there's opportunities, because that means that on both sides you have leverage, right? So that means on both sides you have market participants that probably want to get out of their positions ahead of tonight, right? Because tonight, and then tomorrow and then Friday, it's the end of the month. We have a lot of economic data coming out. It's quite likely they want to get out. So that means, or sometimes they have to get out. So that means, especially with the FOMC minutes coming up, I think we're going to be volatile, and that brings opportunities. And like I said, my bias on Ethereum is actually still quite bullish, right? And ultimately, we did get a high volume breakout right here. We're still holding that at this point of time. So my bias is long. However, for me, what I do think is most likely, unless we get some very, very bullish news, is that we will start off with a deeper pullback first, all right? There's more long leverage. We have some imbalances still left to the downside right here. So I would say it's most likely, can I actually get those imbalances on the chart as well? Yeah, there we go. So I would say it's most likely that we are going to get some sort of a move down. And then the main level I'm looking at is the POC, the point of control, where most of the liquidity is around 2500. I think that's an ideal area to get some positioning in. Also easy invalidation, because if we drop down below that trend line, then you can be pretty sure that this is not going to break out again. But something like this is what I would expect, right? So somewhat of a spike down. If we get a good reaction from 2500, we can easily break out again, like within 2 candles, and then rally into the yearly rolling VWAP, which has served as resistance still, and potentially higher. And if we get a move into that level 2500, which, like I said, or at least into that general area between 2600 and 2500, if we get a move into that and we get a weak reaction, you know how to you should get out, right? And if we get some bearish news as well, then we can fall back down into the range, and that's generally, look, it's either right now for Ethereum, I think we're going to be volatile to get rid of this open interest, and then we're either going to get a strong reaction from the liquidity zone around 2500, which would mean that it's just a one-time spike and a continuation, or we're going to get a weak reaction being that we're going to not break back above 2610, and then we're back into the range. At this point of time, I'm slightly leaning towards doing something like this. Strong reaction, breakout, continuation. But I'll keep you updated on that. For now, I think that's what you need to know. So if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, have a great day. Take care and bye.